The other day, the Seattle Kraken was finally released. We got to look at the logo, the secondary logo, the word mark, and we even got to look at the jersey, which, by the way, I think looks really clean. I'm a pretty big fan of it. I didn't make a specific video just reacting to the name and the logo and stuff like that, just because I didn't have a lot to say. I like it, and I'll kind of just leave it at that. However, this video I am pretty excited for. We are going to be doing a Seattle Kraken expansion mock draft using the tool that CapFriendly's website has. They have an entire mock draft simulator. I think it's pretty cool. Even if you're not making the video on it, it's definitely fun to go mess around on. As always, before we get into the video, if you guys are new to the channel and you want to see more NHL content like this, then be sure to hit that subscribe button, and let's hop on over to CapFriendly now and start this mock draft. As you guys can see here, we're on CapFriendly. If you want to know anything about a contract or a team's cap space, this is the site to go to. It's one of my favorite sites. They even have a 2020 playoffs countdown here, as you can see, about 6 days and 51 minutes. Man, I'm so excited to watch some playoff hockey, and I'm sure all of you guys are as well. But back to this expansion draft, if you want to try it out for yourself, you can see some of these tabs up here at the top. You click on interactive, and then it pulls something down, and you can see Seattle Expansion Draft Simulator. So let's click on this, and let's go ahead and get into it. Some things it wants you to take note of before you begin. The rosters and eligible players will change as we get closer to the expansion draft. Of course, that is bound to happen. Teams can make trades before then, players can sign new contracts, all that type of stuff. The rosters and eligible players are presented using their current stats and are projected for the 2021 offseason. The 40-70 games played requirements will not be considered until the beginning of the 1920 season. And lastly, all players who are under contract in 2020-21 are currently assumed to be extended until the end of that season. When you come down, you can see here Quick Protect is an option. That's probably what I'm going to do, because if I didn't, the comment section would most likely go up in flames. People saying, oh, you should have left this guy unprotected. How could you protect this guy over this guy? You know, I'm just going to try and avoid all that. And we're going to let CapFriendly do all the work. So let's let them protect the players. Let's click Quick Protect, kind of a tongue twister there. And it's already complete. And then we just got to go here to draft team. And now we can get into it. These are all the options for the Ducks. I think I'm going to go through every team, pick some players, and then I'll come back to you guys at the end when I have the full roster, because if I showed you the whole process of choosing each player from every team, this video would never end. So yeah, I'll be back once I have at least one player picked from every team, and then I can go back and make some changes as well. So I schemed through all 31 NHL teams, picked a player off of each team, and the roster I'm about to show you is what I came out with. One thing I do want to say though, we don't know where any of these players are going to be when the expansion draft actually happens. Some of these players could have been traded multiple times, some of them could be on new contracts, some of them could not even be in the NHL anymore, they could be playing in Europe. We don't know what's going to happen from now until then. Try not to put too much thought into this, just have some fun. I'm really not taking it too serious yet, just because there's still so much time between now and when the actual expansion draft happens, and so much can change. Say if CapFriendly still has this going on, say about a month before the expansion draft, I'll do it again, make a video on it, and take it a lot more serious. But I just kind of wanted to speculate and have some fun in today's video. So let's start off by taking a look at the goaltenders. And if we're being honest, I mean, this Seattle team is going to get some quality goaltenders just because of the way the current rule is laid out, where you can only protect one. That leaves teams with multiple good goaltenders kind of screwed. But let's go down and take a look. As you can see, I have Jacob Markstrom, Alexander Georgiev, and Tristan Jarry. I know Jacob Markstrom has been a beast for Vancouver over the past couple of seasons, but they are not going to protect him over Thatcher Demko, strictly just because of the age, in my opinion. Thatcher Demko is seen as the future #1 for the Vancouver Canucks, and there's no chance that they leave him unprotected. So I have Seattle taking Markstrom from the Vancouver Canucks. I also have Georgiev and Tristan Jarry. This could easily be Matt Murray too. It just depends on who Pittsburgh decides to protect over the other. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But those are the three goaltenders I have for the Seattle Kraken: Jacob Markstrom, Alexander Georgiev, and Tristan Jarry. Definitely not too bad for an expansion team. Moving up here, taking a look at the defensemen, I have Michael Matheson. The contract, I just really don't see Florida protecting him, and honestly, it might be a stretch that Seattle even picks up that contract. We'll have to wait and see. I have Shane Gostisbehere. He definitely could use a change of scenery. We know what he's capable of, and if he can get back to that 60-point defenseman with Seattle, I mean, that would be a pretty nice piece to build the blue line around. I then have David Savard, who is a UFA, so again, that's one of those scenarios where we don't know where he's going to be come expansion draft time. And then I have Jake Gardner. He doesn't seem like a good fit in Carolina. He didn't have a great year, and they have so many good defensemen, so I definitely think he's a guy that would be left unprotected. I have Chris Russell for the Oilers. Again, similar to what I said with David Savard. We don't know where he's going to be when this happens. He's going to be UFA then. Then I have Colin Miller for Buffalo, Connor Murphy for the Blackhawks, Ben Sherratt from the Canadiens, Connor Carrick from the Devils, Tim Heed, and Maxime Lajoie. Maxime Lajoie is a 22-year-old, he's a solid young player, and I think would be worth taking a chance on. But, just looking at this decor, as a Red Wings fan, this is so much better than Detroit's decor that it kind of makes me upset. But, that's the way it is. A new team comes into the league. You have to give them players to choose from. And, yeah, you never know. Obviously, some of these players could be protected by their team. And obviously, Seattle might not want any of these players. Who knows? Again, this is just pure speculation. And it is just a fun little expansion draft. So those are the defense. And now let's go ahead and get into the forwards, which I'm sure is what everybody really wants to see the most. As you can see here, we are at the forwards, starting off with TJ Oshie, and he's definitely a popular one that I've seen a lot of people say he'll probably end up, on Seattle. His age and the contract that he's on, I don't think Washington is going to protect him. I'm not saying he's a bad player. He is still a really solid, productive player. I just don't really see Washington protecting him either, like a lot of other people. And I believe he is from Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. So I think he would be a pretty good, franchise centerpiece for the inaugural season. Kind of like what James Neal was in the inaugural season for Vegas, if you guys kind of know what I mean. But I think Oshie would be a good player for them. From Tampa Bay, I have Tyler Johnson. I honestly think this expansion draft will benefit Tampa Bay because it seems like years now it's been where there's rumors of them wanting to trade Tyler Johnson, Andre Palat, or Alex Killorn just to shed some cap because they had to make room for a lot of, newer and big contracts. So I think either one of those guys will end up on Seattle. Here I have it being Tyler Johnson. Victor Rask from Minnesota, that was kind of just a filler player. Wasn't really too sure who they would take from the Wild, but Victor Rask can be like a solid third or fourth line center. From the Leafs, I have them taking Alexander Kerfoot. He's only 25. His cap hit is definitely reasonable, and I think he can be like a 50-point player, and I don't really think he's a guy that Seattle would pass up on. Colorado have JT Compher. Now, I'm not sure if Colorado would even leave him unprotected, but since bringing in guys like Burakovsky, Nazem Kadri, there's some more forwards there that they have to protect now, other than the big guys that are obvious in Rantanen, Landeskog, and McKinnon, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. From the Ducks, I have them getting Danton Heinen, and then from the Flames, I have them getting Sam Bennett. Kind of a theme I went for was underachieving young players that maybe a change of scenery, could really help them break out. It's the same situation with guys like Brendan Perlini, Josh Hosang, and Anders Bjork as well. But all in all, it's not a bad forward group, and I know a lot of these guys won't end up on Seattle and it'll look completely different, but I feel like whatever they do, they're going to be a competitive team from the jump. The expansion draft rules today and the depth on so many of these NHL rosters, there's going to be some good players to choose from. Other guys I didn't mention, Jansen Harkins, Trevor Moore, again, just solid young players that could potentially be building blocks for a new franchise. So that was kind of just my quick mock draft. I'll go through the roster again. Oshie, Johnson, Rask, Kerfoot, Compher, Heinen, Bennett, Krause, Dickinson, Watson, Bjork, Hosang, Perlini, Blais, Moore, and Harkins. The blue line, we got Matheson, Ghost, Savard, Gardner, Russell, Miller, Murphy, Sherratt, Carrick, Heed, and Lajoie. And in net, we got Markstrom, Georgiev, and Tristan Jarry. If you guys did this and you follow me on Twitter or something, I'm curious to see what yours looks like. So take a picture of it with your phone, screenshot it or whatever. Send it to me on Twitter because I am interested to see some more of these mock drafts. And another thing I did want to ask, do I have any people watching this or any subscribers from Seattle that already have a favorite team? I just feel like that'd be weird. Like, say if Halifax got an expansion NHL team, I feel like it'd be weird because I'd want to cheer for them, but I'm still a Red Wings fan at heart. So I'm interested to see, like, my subscribers from Seattle, are you guys going to be a full-on Kraken fan immediately? And what are you going to do with your other favorite NHL team? I'm kind of interested to see in that aspect because it's something that kind of always made me wonder. But yeah, I will link Cap Friendly down below in the description if you guys want to do this. Share it with me. Again, I am very interested to see what yours looks like. But yeah, guys, that is going to wrap up today's video. I really hope you did enjoy. Again, try not to put too much thought into it. try not to take it too serious, at least yet anyways, because it is still pretty far away, but it also is something cool to look at since we now know the name of the team, the jersey, and stuff like that. But yeah, if you did enjoy today's video, please make sure to go down there and drop a like on it. That is the best way to show your support. And as always, if you guys are new to the channel and you want to see more NHL content like this, then be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you guys all in the next video.